Presidents Putin of Russia and Erdogan of Turkey, they met today in Moscow. Did so for the 8th time in the past year. What's going on here, right? Tops on their agendas: the situation in northern Syria and what to do if indeed the United States does withdraw its troop as President Trump has promised. Although that's not a certainty because many of his advisors are saying, not so fast, Mr. President. Hanging in the balance, the Kurds, who, without the United States backing, could become mincemeat, many experts say. Mr. Erdogan said recently that Turkey was ready to move into northern Syria. So today, he expressed his concerns in a more stately manner, saying Turkey was cornered for the vacuum power in the region, which will likely follow the U.S. withdrawal.
It is critical not to allow a sort of vacuum of power to replace American troops. Our only aim is to counter terrorists and to clear Syria from ISIL and the YPG and terrorist organizations that are trying to undermine our relations with Russia.
Meanwhile, for his part, President Putin reinforced his previous position, saying that the United States presence in Syria is unlawful to begin with, and that Turkey and Russia would work with Syria to better stabilize the situation.
The American military remains on Syrian territory illegally. There is no ground for their presence sanctioned by international law. There was neither a legal invitation from the Syrian government nor a decision from the UN Security Council. We discussed how the decision of the US to withdraw troops from Syria will affect the situation in the country. If such plans are implemented, this will be a positive step.
Michael Maloof is a former Pentagon official who has what I would describe as a very keen eye for developments in this part of the world, and he's good enough to join us now. Hey, let's start with these two leaders, right? Do you believe what they say, which is that we are better and more capable of handling this situation than just about any two powers in the world? What do you make of that?
I think that's probably right at this point. Both Erdogan and Putin want U.S. troops out. That's very clear. Putin, however, really wants Erdogan to work more closely with Assad, which he loathes doing, but he's going to have to do, especially on the Kurds, and most especially on establishing safe zones. Erdogan seems to be going along with that, and it's very clear that both leaders see an opportunity here not only to work together cooperatively, but along with Iran, they're all three of them, all three countries, Turkey, Russia, Iran now, are going to start vying for influence in Syria and as to who's going to be on top. But I think it's ultimately going to be Putin who dictates the terms.
Putin is okay with Assad. The United States despises Assad. Why?
For a lot of reasons. But for
is it Saudi Arabia? Is it because they're doing the bidding of Saudi Arabia, like some people say?
It's more geostrategic reasons.
Or Israel?
It's more geostrategic reasons. No, it's not Israel per se, but the West is against Assad because of his humanitarian record, the fact that he killed so many 400,000 Syrians during the Civil War, yet he has survived.
By the way, I'm going to interrupt you for a minute. I hate to say this because it's going to sound like an ugly American maybe, but you know what? When you say that we don't like the fact that he's killed so many people, who the hell hasn't in that region? I mean, I look around, and the good guys are bad guys. They've all killed. What, the Saudis don't kill thousands of people? Who hasn't killed in that region thousands of people? So if you're going to start saying the reason we have to go after this guy is because he's killed thousands of people, well, then, my God, we have to destroy the entire Middle East.
Well, Syria also has a very strategic position vis-a-vis Russia. It was also an area where the United States sought to maintain its influence in the region, and it has quickly diminished because Russia has moved in, basically. And so that's why you hear Bolton and all these wanting regime change. They've been calling for that from the very get-go.
You know, it's interesting. We've run out of time, but I do want to come back to you, and maybe this is the big tease for you and I getting together and having this conversation maybe tomorrow. You've been quoted as saying you think there's something big brewing in that part of the world, and it's most likely going to involve Iran and Israel. I'm anxious to have that conversation with you, and maybe we'll just tee it up so we can do it tomorrow. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
All right.
Hey YouTube, thanks for checking out our channel. We hope you enjoyed the video. We have tons of content for you just like this. For more of RT America's one-of-a-kind news and analysis, be sure to subscribe and never stop questioning more.